Hey everyone, Slucklight here, welcome back. And we're continuing Final Fantasy III for the NES. And as you can see, I have prepared myself for the next dungeon, as there are splitting enemies. And we're not going to deal with any of that crap, so we're going to switch ourselves to 4 Magic Knights, fully equipped with dark swords. And we're going to, hopefully, get through it with minimal fuss and minimal muss. Whatever that's supposed to mean. But first we must get there. We must get to the Cave of Darkness. And that involves taking our big jalopy of a machine here and flying up to it. Using the mountains. Where the heck am I? I think I can still use sight, actually. Yep. It's actually down and to the right. Flying over the endless ocean, apparently. Just kidding, it's not here. Going the wrong way again. We'll get there. I know where I am now. He said, with confidence. Okay, here we go. Alright, so up here is the final area, but up here, in this little neck of the woods here, we can find the Cave of Darkness, and you may have just noticed that I did a cannon blast. When you get into fights in your airship Invincible, you can fire the cannons every round for a little bit of damage to, I believe, all targets. And I think I went the wrong way. Yep. But honestly, at this point of the game, it's not something that we really need to write home about. But it's kind of cool. It's cool that it's an airship that actually does things, like allow you to rest, and allow you to buy things, and allow you a fat chocobo, and fly over mountains, and shoot down your foes. It does all that and more. Alright, well, not much more, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we need to soar over these mountains. And when we reach the end of this kind of a little bit of a maze, we will reach the Cave of Darkness. And the Cave of Darkness is a lot like the cave that we ran into when we were in Fargabad, practicing our dark sword abilities, in which it has a lot of invisible pathways through the walls, and one can get lost relatively quickly. And of course, all the monsters in there split. So without the dark sword abilities, one would have so much trouble in there that it would kind of make you quit the game. And I don't remember many instances of you know, actual random battles on an airship. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually your airship is your safe haven to get around the world. Unless it's like a really special boss or something close to it. This game does it. Only in certain areas, but it does it. Because you can't have too many random battles, right, game? Yeah, and I can see why these were changed to Dark Knights in the remake, because they do give that look off of being a Dark Knight. Looks like if I just bettered the graphics a little bit, it would be Cecil from Final Fantasy IV before he turned into something else. I don't know, is anybody worried about about spoilers for a game that old? Still going. Unfortunately, this does not make for good TV. Oh, come on, really? Now we're getting them every couple steps now? At least I fall relatively easily. But they don't really give you too much, so that's the bummer of it all. Alright, we made it. So I'm gonna go ahead and heal while I can. No sense in going in there anything but fresh-faced. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a good save. It's been a while since we did that. I kind of just roll on. I really should save more often. Yeah, so there's your hint. Don't be a doof. Use your dark swords. Yeah, and I think they're relatively the same enemies that we faced before, so there's nothing really new to report. It's just gonna be slicing through them. I would also like to know the science behind not allowing the enemies to split while using a dark sword. Like, does it cauterize the wounds? Does it just kill the part you cut off so it doesn't turn into another part? You know, things like that interest me. Alright. Just coast on through here. Grab that. Seems I was not yet experienced enough. Please take this. Got another Kotetsu sword. So everybody's got at least one Ashura sword on, but he has two, so I'm gonna give him that Kotetsu. So everybody has at least 190 attack power. Except for Luck, who has 210 because of the Kiku. Which is actually short for, I believe, Kikuichi Monji, which is a sword that shows up in later games. And if I probably butchered that pronunciation, I apologize. Alright, and these are new enemies. Hopefully we can defeat them without any trouble. And once again, the bummer is really no experience points here. Alright, so we're getting ambushed. We're getting ambushed a lot. and is very annoying. But I guess the same could be said of pretty much the entire game, where I get ambushed relatively easily. Apparently I have 4 characters who are just looking at the ceiling, looking at the floor, not looking where they're going, walking into giant monsters. Nothing's more embarrassing than being surprised by, you know, a giant T-Rex or an iron giant. I remember my old days of playing World of Warcraft, and there were a couple of zones that you could go into. I'm sure it's still around, but I haven't played in years. But there was one zone in the first expansion where there was this giant thing that would just walk around the entire area and make like this just evil sounding toot, like it was a train, like a freight train that was barreling towards you. And that thing would surprise me. That thing would sneak up on me. That thing was huge. It took up more than the entire screen when it came after you. And somehow I was ambushed by it. Same thing with there's one crater area that had a bunch of dinosaurs walking around, and there was one giant T-Rex that would walk around the entire area, and just suddenly a T-Rex sneaks up on you. I feel like that's what's going on with these characters here. They're just tramping along, and suddenly a T-Rex or an army of splitting monsters suddenly appears behind them and goes, "Hey, I'm here. You should pay attention." That's the monster saying that to me, obviously. I do like games, I do like RPGs that put the enemies right on the map. That you can, move up to them and then get into a fight, like Lufia 2, like we're playing right now. And I do like it when, if you sneak up behind them, you'll get a extra turn. Like, you'll ambush them, but if they hit you in the back, like Earthbound. Earthbound was like that too. So if you can, get the jump on them, it'll, you'll be able to actually control when you get the jump on them versus when you get surprised. And if you get surprised, it's probably your own fault. The third Lufia, the one for the Game Boy Color, was like that too, where you actually had 9 characters, and 1 character from each column could move at a time. And if you got surprised on the side, they were shaped in a 3x3 formation, your party, and if you got surprised, say on the left, the whole 3x3 grid will just rotate to the left, so the characters that the enemy touched will be in the front row. And I think it was relatively genius, but the game itself was kind of, I want to say, boring. Alright, so I am just doing a quick check on where I am supposed to be going, because I do not know. So I'm looking at a map, because I do not care. Okay. I believe in here is just a treasure, so let's grab it. Yeah, this place is a pretty big maze, so I'm not going to play around and try to navigate it my own. I will keep these episodes moving and not in a circle. But probably reach this treasure chest and that'll be it for this episode, because we're nearing our end. And I've been known lately to keep chatting away and making these episodes longer. So we'll finish that fight, and we'll get that chest, and then we'll be done with this episode, and on the next episode, we will finish up this cave, and move on to whatever next cave we have to deal with, so... I obviously hope you will join me for that. So let's get ourselves this chest. Genji glove. Alright, so I will equip it in between episodes and we'll be moving on our way. So my name is Lucklight, thank you for watching, have a good one.